What did the elites, today's billionaires, and the ancient Egyptians know about manifesting unlimited money that you don't? It's a guarded secret for thousands of years, only available to the people at the very top. In fact, it's the reason why so few have so much of today's wealth. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how you can use this secret to create enormous wealth for yourself very easily. Because as work built on research from a best-selling author and scientist has since revealed, we're now able to replicate this ancient Egyptian frequency secret and use it to create enormous wealth through manifestation. Imagine just waking up knowing that everything is taken care of. You don't have to stress about money at all. Imagine checking your bank account and seeing hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars there. It would mean you don't have to stress about work or grind away at a job you hate or worry about how you're going to pay for your next trip. So here's the thing. If you've been trying to manifest money in abundance by doing affirmations, visualization, mantras, and other things, and nothing has worked, there are three main reasons why. And if you watch this video until the end, I'll show you. And they're not what you'd expect. In fact, you could be doing the things that are stopping you manifesting money without even realizing it. These things are keeping you stuck, living paycheck to paycheck and never having enough, worrying about unexpected bills or costs, or maybe just wishing you could do something else with your time and with your life. Now you can become wealthy by learning the ancient secret. They knew this 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, and elites ever since have been using this to stay at the top. It has a little something to do with a tiny part of your brain, a part called the pineal gland, which is like your abundance switch. There is a powerful and highly effective way to activate your pineal gland and turn on your abundance switch in just a few minutes. When you use this Egyptian frequency secret that I'm going to share with you in a moment, it's like turning on the floodgates to wealth. Money just flows to you easily. And it doesn't matter how much you've struggled before, this works, and it works fast. I understand if you're skeptical, I would be too, but I promise you that it works for anyone and it can transform your life very quickly. And if you stick with me for a couple of minutes now, I can show you. So my name is Steph, and I've always had a deep curiosity for uncovering the truth about things. Not just with science, but with learning about the hidden and mysterious forces that are really behind how the world works, and the reasons why some people seem to have it better than others. I'll share more about that in a moment, but you're going to be very surprised. Anyway, I grew up in a small village surrounded by nature, so I wasn't easily distracted by the big city life, and I had lots of time to ponder things and question reality. My dad always encouraged me when I would question things, so I've done it for as long as I can remember. Even, as a young child, I would take things apart and put them back together again, just to figure out and understand how they work. So, like many of us, I've experienced my fair share of ups and downs in life. I've faced countless struggles, and every time I would get a bit of money, start to feel comfortable, I would randomly lose it. Something would always happen. It could be an unexpected bill, a random extra charge, or a tax. At one point, my website actually got hacked, and I would wake up to find a bunch of strange links to weird websites selling watches and cars. I would delete the code, and then a few minutes later it would appear again. And I actually had to call up a website security company, and they told me that it gets even worse. They said it's going to cost you $519 a month for an entire year to fix this problem, and it's the only way to get rid of the hack and make sure it doesn't come back. I felt like I didn't have a choice, and I had to do it, but I just didn't have the money. So it forced me to close my website down and lose my only source of income for a while. But then everything changed. I stumbled across a mind-blowing Egyptian frequency secret that completely transformed my life forever. When I was at my lowest point, feeling completely broken and hopeless, I thought back to how I've always been naturally curious about how the world works. Maybe I can figure this out too, I thought. And so I went on a life-changing journey to learn the real reasons why some people are broke while others have too much money to even count. It led to the discovery of an ancient secret that has now transformed my life. And using this secret, I've manifested owning a big, beautiful house in one of the safest, nicest villages in England. It has a stunning garden, and it's just a few minutes walk from beautiful forests, lakes, and hillsides. I even made a space outside to grow fresh vegetables and place an ice barrel dip. I love improving my health and doing things like cold dips. I also manifested finding the love of my life and even overcoming chronic conditions like cystic acne, depression, and insomnia. And of course, financial stress is no longer a problem for me. So now I have the freedom to travel and work from luxurious resorts and exotic destinations for as long as I want to. I'm blessed with a complete freedom to do anything I want, whenever I want. And I'm going to share how you can do the same. But first, let me tell you what this Egyptian frequency secret is not. It's not affirmations, it's not visualizations or vision boards, it's not fake it till you make it or kind of pretending, it's not meditation, it's not working harder, And trust me, that's not the answer. And it's also not working less, because that's also not going to work. So I need to warn you at this point that some of the things I just mentioned actually gave me the opposite of what I wanted. Let me explain. Many of the popular manifestation techniques that you'll find discussed online actually ended up causing my income to plummet down by more than half. So believe it or not, I was actually earning more before I started trying to manifest more. But as I learned more about the secret that I'm going to share with you in a second, everything started to make sense. And maybe you've actually come across these videos yourself, these short clips promising a technique and filled with comments from people saying I claimed this or I found money the next day. They're taking advantage of several cognitive biases and mistakes, and most of the time it's actually a trick. It would usually lead people into a manifestation spiral, a negative manifestation spiral, where you try and manifest more, it doesn't work, so then you get annoyed or frustrated, you try harder, that doesn't work, so you see your money going down and so on. You probably know on some level that your frustration is making things worse, but you don't know how to not be frustrated, because after all, you're doing everything right, aren't you? It's the most horrible, frustrating feeling in the world. So what is this ancient secret that lets just 1 to 5% of the population enjoy true financial freedom and possess everything they desire? So I was struggling. I was spending thousands of dollars on training, books, courses, business coaches to try and manifest and create more money. And none of it was working. I couldn't figure out why until I actually finally had a breakthrough and everything changed. I was diving into dozens of manifestation books and courses, and it just wasn't really making sense. What one book said would conflict with what another book said. And at the same time, I was having really terrible days. My sites would crash. I would have a random bill for $457, a website hosting renewal I'd completely forgotten about. I had piles of books stacked up on an old ping pong table with pages dog-eared and highlighted. I must have looked like I was losing my mind. But I was actually getting closer and closer to uncovering the powerful secret that the Egyptians knew thousands of years ago, but it didn't seem like it at the time. I was doing visualization exercises, looking at my vision board, taking inspired action, working hard every day, but it was like the harder I tried, the worse things got. Really rare and impossible things started happening to me. I was also feeling the most overwhelmed that I felt in my whole life. I was drowning in endless pages of notes on manifestation, business strategies, consciousness, and various other topics. The frantic research and the desperate attempts to try and figure it all out ended up consuming me, and I woke up each morning feeling a massive sense of panic and overwhelm. Because I had so many books and courses and videos and podcasts about manifestation, but they were all telling me different things, conflicting things that made no sense. It couldn't be random, could it? This had to be some kind of deliberate thing happening to me, something on purpose. Someone or something was doing this to me. And 3 guesses who that person was. Yeah, it was me. So over the course of about a year, I researched intensely, and I wanted to find out what ultra wealthy people had in common. And do you know what? The answer was right there in front of me this whole time. All I had to do was say yes and just do it. The answer was to do with sound and frequency all along, but there's something standing in your way, something stopping you from manifesting. But to understand what's stopping you from manifesting insane levels of wealth and life you desire, you need to first understand what the ancient